Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Anthony at the Antonio Way, and you are in for a treat today. Today we're going to be working with concrete. Now, don't be afraid, I promise. This is super easy. So for this project, I got inspired by a lot of industrial style home decor that I've been seeing in the market lately. I saw this concrete block candle that I really liked, and I decided to put my own twist on it, and I did, which you'll see in this video. The amazing thing about this project is that I only did it for under
so fetch.
You can make this project for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, a birthday, I don't know, any kind of present. This would be great. I know if someone was to give this to me,
I was so happy.
Before we get started, I think that you should go press that subscribe button down there and go follow me at the Antonio Way on Instagram. Are you ready to get started? Are you ready? Really? All right, let's go. For this project, you will need some concrete, a pair of scissors, a candle, thin cutting board, some tape, a container and a stirring stick for mixing your concrete, primer spray paint, and your choice of any metallic spray paint. For this project, I use gold. Let's start by taking out our cutting boards out of the plastic. You'll then realize that there's a matte side and a shiny side. Keep the shiny side down since that's going to be the side that's going to be on the inside of our mold. Now get your pen and start drawing out squares that measure 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches. As you see here, I'm using a stencil for these dimensions to make sure that all my shapes come out exactly the same. Get your scissors out and let's get to cutting. Now get all your squares together and set them up in the shape of a cross. Start taping all the seams together and make sure you're only taping the top layer, which is the matte side. The cross should be glossy side down. Once you're done with that part, fold the cross inwards so the shiny side ends up inside. Then tape those seams together. While you're taping, make sure all the seams are closed because the next step we're going to be pouring concrete and you don't want any leaking going on. Believe me, it can get very messy. Now you should have yourself a square. See, that was easy, right? Now let's get that concrete on and let's get to mixing. Start by adding your concrete and then water. We want to get to an oatmeal consistency. Once we get there, that's how we know it's ready and then we can pour it. I can't even lie, it took me a little while to get to the consistency that I wanted. Sometimes I had to add a little bit more water, a little bit more concrete, but believe me, when you get there, you'll know it. All right, it is finally time. Let's get that mold out and let's get to pouring. Now, don't fill the concrete up all the way to the top. Leave very little space because once we add the candle in, the concrete is going to rise. Now go and get your candle and insert it into the middle of the concrete. Once you do that, start tapping on the exterior of the mold. This will make all the air bubbles rise to the top and they'll pop. This will prevent any air sockets from building and will make this project look way better. If your candle ends up moving around like it's doing here, don't worry about it. As long as the concrete is still wet, we are still safe. We're going to be taping the candle down the next step and it's going to stay in place for good. Watch and see. Okay, so this is a weird trick I decided to do while I was doing this project. I got a little piece of paper and placed it on top of the candle because I was afraid of the wick getting stuck to the tape. Just in case I had to fix it and take the tape off, I didn't want the tape to rip the candle out of the concrete. So this is what I did. Now that you tape down the candle, let this project sit somewhere with fresh air. I put it outside and I let it sit for 24 hours just so the concrete can fully cure. All right, it is time for the reveal. Now let's get your scissor and start cutting off all the tape and the plastic mold, but do it carefully, you don't want to ruin anything. Let's inspect and see how it came out. I think it came out pretty good. What do you think? It just needs a little light sanding on the rough edges and we'll be set to go on to the next step. For this sanding part, I used 60 grit sandpaper and it worked exceptionally well to take off all the rough edges. It made it so smooth. I then went in and used 400 grit sandpaper to really smoothen it up. Alright guys, the fun part is finally here. For this part, you can use either blue tape or masking tape. You can place your tape wherever you want. You can get as creative as you like. For this part, I just winged it. I placed the tape somewhere and just went along with it. It ended up being an uneven, geometric pattern that I kind of like. To get the perfect straight lines, make sure you cut off any extra tape that you have left. Now let's spray paint. Start by putting down your primer first because this primer is really going to help the metallic color come through. Let your primer dry for a couple of minutes and then you can add your metallic spray paint. Spray 2 coats of metallic spray paints to make sure every section is covered and to really get that shine. Once you're done with your final coat and you let it dry for a couple of minutes, add some self-adhesive pads on the bottom just to prevent any scratching on the surfaces that you're going to add this concrete block on. Believe me, it's a little heavy. You might want to do this. Alright guys, the finale is finally here. Can you believe it? Take the tape off and reveal what is created. God, this is going to be so good. Okay, honestly speaking, this came out so much better than what I thought it was going to be. That is it. The concrete block is done. I hope you guys love it. I hope you guys got inspired by it. And I hope you guys decide to make it on your own. If you do, please shoot me a message. I would love to see how it came out. Keep in mind, you can even spray paint the whole thing gold. You can spray paint it silver. Do whatever you want. Get creative. That's the whole point of DIYs. Alright guys, I'm gonna go. For some reason, I always tend to talk a lot in these videos. I don't know why. I always get excited about the things that I make, but God, I'm crazy. But anyways, before I go, please press the subscribe button down there and follow me at The Antonio Way. Shoot me a message. Tell me what you think about these videos. I would love to hear your feedback. Well, until next time, see you later.